Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee Catch-ups Espresso. We are Amelia and Tanya from Coffee Catch-ups podcast and you are listening on Cross Rhythms Plymouth. And today we had so much fun doing the last episode of this that we've decided that we really should do another one.
And we do it in every episode of our podcast.
We do.
Yeah.
We're going to do another episode of Would You Rathers because they are objectively hilarious. So, Tanya, my first question to you is, would you rather be able to sing incredibly well or cook incredibly well? But the caveat is that the other one is terrible.
I've got to be able to sing really well. I obviously can sing really well anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can.
because of my job, I need to be able to sing.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm a performer, so I would need to sing really well. And if I, singing brings me so much joy.
Yeah.
I could effectively live off, microwave meals, I suppose, and bad cooking. But it would be very sad. Or just eat out a lot more, which would be very expensive.
Yeah, it would, that's true.
Yeah, or I just marry someone who can cook.
Yeah, fair.
The solution to every problem.
If you can sing incredibly well, you could quite easily, you could quite easily monetize it, so you could afford to eat out all the time.
Yeah, and then also, I was thinking as well, I don't know, if I was such a powerful voice, I could get lots of gigs in pubs.
Yes.
And then free food.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
Free food, people buying you drinks all the time. Be great.
Sorted.
Amazing.
Okay, if you ready?
Can I answer?
Oh,
Do I get to
you
answer
haven't
my
answered.
question?
Oh, I'm
That's
so sorry.
So rude.
You're right, I am rude.
Goodness. It's not like you and your singing voice, Tanya.
It is all about me. No, Amelia, tell us, which one would you rather do?
See, now that you've said that, I feel like you've made a really, really good point. And I was going to say cook well because I, as a single person who does not need to sing for their job, I feel like, I don't know whether I would manage to live on terrible cooking and console myself with the fact that my voice was fantastic. I don't know whether I could go that far.
Sing yourself to sleep hungry.
Yeah. But then, your point is really good because if you're that good of a singer, you could kind of make a living off it. But
I
feel like in my current situation, sadly, because I do also love singing very much, I would have to say I would need to cook well because I don't think I could manage.
We should team up then.
We should.
Boom.
It's true.
Okay.
What's
now
yours?
Can I answer? Ask. Sorry. Having a good start to this.
Tanya, what is your would you rather?
Would you rather be it's similar to yours. I'm gonna follow yours. Be an amazing archer, or swords person,
sword fighter, swordswoman. Ooh. See, I've always quite liked the idea of archery. Any film, medieval film or fancy film where they're using bow and arrow, I've always really liked the idea of it. I did actually do a bit of archery at uni, and I really enjoyed it. But then I feel like if I were in a fancy world, would a sword be more effective because I can, close combat wise, you got to be able to protect yourself, I feel like swords because you can do quite a few cool tricks with swords as well, right?
It's cool.
Yeah.
I would go for swords as well.
Yeah, nice.
So because I just think it's super cool. However, I do partly think Katniss Everdeen in Hunger Games is really cool.
She is. It's true.
Yeah, cooler than the swords people in that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah,
but I just love swords. I love swords. I love stage combat. Oh yes,
so much fun. I've seen you do stage combat with a sword, and it is very entertaining.
It's epic. That was sword versus baguette. The show
it was,
saw.
yes,
so
which was also very funny.
Little extra.
Yeah.
Je ne sais quoi. Right, Amelia.
I'm done. I'm done.
Because she's done, we're going to take a little break, and we'll come back with some more Would You Rathers.
We will. Hello and welcome back to Coffee Catch-ups Espresso with Amelia and Tanya. We are doing another episode of Would You Rathers because they are just so much fun.
They are.
What is your question for me?
Okay, would you rather be stuck in an elevator for 12 hours completely by yourself or with somebody who never stops talking?
Oh, that's a really hard
one, isn't it?
I think I'd have to be by myself. As an introvert, I don't think I could deal with another person for a while, But someone who doesn't stop talking for
Yeah.
12 hours, I would go nuts. I would actually probably end up punching them in the face because I can't. No, I couldn't deal with that. I would end up shouting at them and being like, "Shut up," because I no,
Yeah.
not a chance. You?
I would do the same, and I'm
Yeah.
an extrovert. Because I just think 12 hours, that would be a lot.
Yeah.
I think it would be okay. Because of the phrasing of the question, I just imagine somebody that just monologues. But it would be okay if they were just really chatty, and you could ask them questions, or you could play a game. You could play Would You Rather.
Oh yeah.
That
yeah.
I wouldn't mind, but I think the spirit of the question isn't saying that.
If there's conversation, I could deal with that a lot
I'm
better.
imagining somebody like quite annoying,
Yeah.
and I would rather be by myself.
Yeah.
So
for
that
sure.
was how I imagined
I'm also I'm imagining like you with certain people in that situation. It wouldn't go well.
I'd probably jump down the lift shaft, the elevator shaft.
Let me out.
I'd rather face this drop.
Yeah. Imagine. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Brilliant.
gosh.
Have you got a question for me?
I have. So this is a bit of a silly one, and also I cannot take credit myself for this because my colleague Harry asked me this the other day, and shout out to Harry, it was genuinely hilarious. So, would you rather have you're given £1 million, but somewhere in the world there is a snail after you, who as soon as it touches you, it kills you. You don't know where it's starting from, and like you don't know where it is at any given point. As soon as it touches you, you're dead. Or would you rather just stay as you are and not take the money?
Oh, so my instinct is saying take the money. It's a snail. But then also, I would spend the rest of my life in fear of snails.
Yeah,
I'd be
so
like,
true.
would I know what the snail looked like?
I think when you saw it, you would know what it was. And it is a snail, so it's moving at a snail's pace. So it's not like a super rapid snail.
In that case, I'm going to take the money and risk it.
Yeah.
Because if it would be different, I think if I couldn't identify that as the snail of danger, of doom, snail of doom, then I think I would be like, I don't want to live my life in fear of snails.
Yeah.
But if I know that is the snail of doom, and I see the snail of doom, and I think, oh, that's the snail of doom, so I run.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I could live like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know what you mean, and I think I would probably do the same thing, because also you can do quite a lot of good with £1 million, right? In like a moment, you know, you can like give a lot of it to charity, so you've still done that. So even if you die in the next second, like, you know, you've still done that. But then also, like, knowing me, I would probably like not look and then like put my hand like, I don't know, like on a door handle, and it's there, and I'm just gone.
Or you're asleep in the snail.
Or I think I would have to sleep with like one of those like mosquito net type things.
You can die crossing the roads, you know.
That's true. That is true.
It's £1 million. I could buy a house.
Yeah, you could. It's true. It's true.
That's it.
A snail-proof house.
No snails allowed.
Little sign by the door, just like big red circle with a line through it.
Snails shall not
allowed.
pass. Yeah.
Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I think it does feel like a bit of an easy one, that one, but I think I would probably take it. And also, like, you know, again, I mean, like, I quite like my life at the moment without the constant threat of death from a snail, but at the same time,
I can take on a snail.
I could take on the thought of it. Again, if you touch it, you die. So like, it's not like.
What if you touch it via something else? So like, if I had a skewer and skewered the snail, and the skewer touched it, that wouldn't be me touching it.
I feel like...
So I could find a snail, I could kill a snail, and I'd be
live
rich.
forever. Live forever and be rich, and you've killed the snail. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like... I can't remember what the caveat Harry gave me was, but I don't know. I feel like that might be kind of cheating, to be fair.
Yeah.
But, you know, but
So
I hear what you're
snail,
saying.
though, is it?
I hear what you're saying. But you by proxy are touching the snail, and you are acting with the thing that's going to... Anyway, we're not going to go down this route because it's going to take an awfully long time. But, yeah, send us your favourite Would You Rather questions. Also, tell us what would you do? Would you take the £1 million? And we are going to be right back with some more Would You Rathers after a bit of music. Hello and welcome back to Coffee Catch-ups Espresso. We're talking about some fun Would You Rather questions. We've talked about death snails. We've talked about singing and cooking very well. But my next question for you, Tanya, is would you rather I think I know the answer to this. Would you rather be the most hilarious person in the room or the most intelligent person in the room?
The most hilarious?
I knew you were going to say that.
Because the most hilarious is the most intelligent.
Ooh.
Comedy is really smart.
That's a very interesting argument.
And I really enjoy being making people laugh.
Yeah, no, this is true.
I am objectively hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I also think it would be a huge burden to be the most intelligent person.
Yeah, that's true, because I guess you'd have people coming to you all the time with like questions and stuff.
Whereas, you know, the more joy in life, the better.
Yeah, agreed.
Laugh. What do you think?
I'd probably say the same thing, actually.
See?
I mean, it was quite an easy one, but I also think it's an interesting one to consider, because it's like, okay, how much do I really value my own intelligence? But yeah, no, I think being the most hilarious person in the room is quite you know, as we know from experience, it's a great thing to be.
yeah, it is true. I can vouch for that.
It's true. Yeah.
Right. So this one, I hope if you're listening that you've watched Friends. If not, you'll have to Google this one. So would you rather drink the glass of fat in that Friends episode? So just for context, there's an episode of Friends where Monica, in her apartment, she has a glass of fat in the fridge from cooking. She's a chef. And some of the other friends mistake it for beer and drink it, drink a sip and then realise. And then one of the other characters dares the other person to drink the whole glass. So that's the context. So would you rather drink that glass of fat or brush your teeth with soap?
Ooh.
These are both enticing, I know.
Oh, no. See, I thought the end of that question was going to be, would you rather drink the glass of fat or have to eat Rachel's trifle?
That's a better one.
But...
let's change it to that.
Are we changing it? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'd have to do the trifle because just the thought of drinking a glass of fat just gives me, like, genuinely makes me feel a bit unwell. Okay. Whereas the trifle obviously is disgusting.
Yeah. So for context, Rachel makes a traditional English trifle, but she glues 2 pages of the cookbook together and ends up making it half with a sweet trifle and half with like minced beef and peas and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah,
no, I think I'd have to do the trifle because that, like, again, the thought of drinking that just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Like
I would do the same thing in that context.
Yeah.
Than drinking a glass of fat. I could do a sip of fat, but I couldn't do a whole glass.
No, I couldn't even look at it. I instantly gag.
Yeah.
No.
You just don't think about it.
No.
Just go.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Hold your nose.
Yeah, down the hatch. Yeah. There we go.
That is a better worded question, but out of interest, if it was between brushing your teeth with soap and the fat from Friends.
Oh, I mean, I think I'd still have to do the soap.
Really?
Again, it gives me the ick. So, like, I could manage it. It would be disgusting, but I feel like
at least you don't have to swallow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you spit it out and then you can rinse. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas the fat would just make me feel physically like I can't. Even thinking about it now, I feel really queasy.
We're gonna have a studio emergency soon.
Oh, gross! What would you do?
I'd drink the fat.
Would you actually?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would. You drink fat in life, just attached to food normally. Do you know what I mean?
Lovely. Yeah. That's one for us to go away and think about. Anyway, on that delightful note, we're gonna come back in a moment with some would you rather, well, snack chat related would you rathers. Yeah. But first of all, we will have some tunes. Hello and welcome back to Coffee Catch-ups Espresso. We have been doing another fun Would You Rather episode and we have now come to snack chat. We have got some snack chat related Would You Rathers. Tanya, what is your snack chat?
Mine's it's quite a classic one. It's quite classic. Would you rather have a starter or a dessert?
Ooh, I would say starter.
Okay.
I do enjoy dessert, but I over the years have become a bit more of a savoury person than a sweet person. And yeah, I do quite enjoy a starter. How about you?
Yeah. Oh, same. 100% starter. In fact, if I could just eat starters, I would.
Amazing.
When I was
Is that not called tapas?
Yes, it is.
you want to go to tapas later? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, no, when I was a student, now you've said tapas, this is going to really ruin my story, but when I was a student, we did a starter crawl.
Fun. No,
So
I do love that.
instead of a
That's
bar
great.
crawl,
That's great.
we would go to different restaurants and try different starters, which is a lovely, expensive, but lovely way to have some snacks.
No, that's a great idea.
Nom, nom, nom.
I really love that. That's a great idea.
Right, so have you got one?
Yes, I do. So, would you rather, with absolutely everything you eat, would you rather have to have cottage cheese or maple syrup?
On top of?
Like, just with.
Separately?
But, like, yeah. So, at the same time as you're eating one thing, you're going to have the other. Like, there's just no... But, like, maple syrup, like, I feel like you would, by definition, sort of have to, like, pour it over. And cottage cheese, you'd have to have, like, as you're eating it, like, on the spoon. Or the fork, whatever you want to eat with.
That is a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know. That's really stumped me.
Oh my gosh, I've made her speechless.
Yeah, you have.
There's a first. Can I just call your mum quickly and tell her?
Yeah, sure. She'd be delighted. I think cottage cheese just isn't my favourite kind of cheese. If it was another form of cheese, I'd be all about the cheese.
This is why it makes the question hard, right?
It does make, cottage cheese is a bit meh. But then it is a bit meh, so it's not going to clash with much.
That's true.
Could have it with Malteser.
Not something I'd be necessarily keen to try, but yeah, you could, hypothetically.
Would be fun. Maple syrup, I don't want in spag bowl.
No.
Cottage cheese.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think I'd probably have to say the same because, you know, like you say, it could just go with more things because maple syrup, like you say, on a spag bowl, or even if you're already having something sweet, like even like a tiramisu, and you put maple syrup on it, it just doesn't go, does it?
It's like a controversial opinion.
Always.
Don't like tiramisu.
I take it back. I didn't want that controversial opinion. First of all, how dare you?
Just don't
Secondly,
like
it's
it.
fine because it leaves more for me, so that's fine. It is my favourite dessert.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. Controversial opinions have been thrown out there. We've done many would you rathers. And that, my friends, is the end of today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like to, we have learnt a lot. I think we've learnt a lot about each other more than anything else. But if you would like to send us your own would you rather questions that you want us to answer, then we can totally do that because we will be doing more episodes on this. Also tell us what you thought about the questions that we asked.
Yes.
What would you want it to be? But for now, it's been a joy, as always. Have a very blessed week, and we will catch you at the same time next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.